Okay, good afternoon. Good morning to anybody joining from the West Coast. My name is Alex Smith, co-founder here with Vendor to Member, and I appreciate everybody's time today to come out and learn a little bit about our program, but more importantly, how to leverage Vendor to Member to increase your sales and penetration with hardware retailers across the country. So to start, I'll give you a little background on myself. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we'll just dive right in and take a look at Vendor to Member. So to get a better understanding of the program and the background and really what it's designed and developed specifically to do, you first need a little bit about myself and how this came to be. I used to be a general store manager at an Ace Hardware, and there are several things that I realized while doing and while serving and working on the floor was that I had customers coming in on a daily basis asking me for product, whether it was an industrial commercial account, local school, local gas station chain, or maybe it was just a consumer down the street looking for product. And I had that relationship with that customer, and they'd like to purchase it through me, but it's possible I didn't have that product on the floor, or I didn't have the brand they were looking for on the sales floor. And when I went to my warehouse, I didn't have it in my warehouse either because, as we all know, the co-ops and distributors have their warehouses nationwide, and while they have a lot of products, between 60 and 80,000 items, that's nowhere near the hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of items that are available from vendors who are eager and willing to sell that product to those retailers. The second thing that I noticed, again, was growing that industrial commercial relationship, products that aren't typically carried in warehouses because of their industrial commercial nature, and sourcing those products became very difficult. I obviously, like every retailer, had a wall of catalog in the back room, some of it ranging back to the 80s, and it was just impossible. It was hard enough for me to keep up with low lead laws and VOC laws in the paint department. It was not my job to memorize those catalogs. It was very difficult to source those products. After my time as a retailer, I went on to be a buyer at Do It Best Corp, and the same need was reiterated during my time there. I'd be sitting across from vendors on a daily basis that were saying, Alex, how do we better communicate our products to your member retailers? How do we let them know that we have product available beyond what's in warehouse? As soon as I go back to my desk, I had calls coming in from retailers saying, hey, I need some help sourcing a product. I'm trying to find a vendor who sells item X. Or is there a vendor who sells this kind of a product? And I had to say, I'm not sure. I'd have to go back to my catalog, call vendors. At any rate, all of this time, all this energy from vendors, from merchandise managers and buyers, and from retailers trying to find and source what is very basic information that we should have a platform to communicate and share that information. And that is what Vendor to Member does. So we've developed Vendor to Member to be a platform to which vendors can list all of their product information with co-op specific terms and shipping pricing information and vendor numbers, all in one searchable platform. We also provide vendors with then proactive sales tools to utilize the resource to then go out and promote their products and sell to retailers in the industry, letting them know how to contact them, how to find and source that information. So that's a little bit about myself, the background of Vendor to Member as a program, why we've created it, the need and the demand from retailers, and a little bit about how we've come to date. On February 17th of this year, we launched to Ace and Do It Best retailers across the country. We specifically only worked with those retailers initially because we were very strategic in that it's all about this resource and creating a comprehensive resource for retailers to be able to search and find. As we all know, if I gave you a dictionary with only 10% of the words, that really doesn't do anybody a lot of good. Only being able to find 10% of the product, 10% of the information, 10% of the words. So we focused in on a select group of folks, and we did a comprehensive job The demand from retailers at that point was so high, other retailing groups, that we've since opened up Vendor to Member nationwide to all organizations. So you can see here that we've opened up across the board and adding more as we go forward, essentially to 35,000 retailers. It's also about deliverability, and we want to be able to make ourselves known and visible to retailers to use us when they need it. So now not only do they have vendor2member.com, but we have established an alliance with Hardware Retailing in the North American Retail Hardware Association. The two of the biggest organizations, which are actually one organization. The Hardware Retailing is the magazine arm of the Retail Association. And so now on hardwareretailing.com, our product sourcing widget is now available on every single page of this website for retailers to use. And soon to be on nrha.org, our pricing widget will be there within the next week or two. That'll be there as well. So now let's talk a little bit about what it means for you, how you utilize this program, what is the requirement for vendors to participate, what are the costs, and how much time and work is it going to be to establish this relationship and leverage these tools. And that's what we'll talk about here a little bit, leveraging our platform. So unlimited products. So for one fee, doesn't matter if you're listing 10,000 items or if you're listing 1 or 2 items, and we have vendors in both categories, the price remains the same. It's just the one fee, regardless of how many products that you have listed with us on Vendor to Member. We are 100% vendor managed, so you're able to go in and manage all of your contact information, all of your shipping terms, all of your vendor numbers with the co-ops, the different wholesalers. Let's go ahead and take a look at a product level page. I'm signed in as an ACE retailer right now for demonstration purposes, and I did a quick search for SharkBite fittings. My results populate. I did a generic search, so I get a generic result here with some SharkBite product. Let's open up the SharkBite product. So it's a very similar search feature as you would see on Amazon or any other product-based website. So now you see we're an ACE Hardware vendor. We see the product that we're looking at here. The image is enlargeable. You simply click it, and there are product details. The costs and the information that's ACE specific. So when I register as a retailer, I identify myself as an ACE retailer, and ACE retailers will only be able to see ACE pricing, ACE vendor numbers, etc. You can see here in the left-hand column, you have the ACE sales contact. If I was signed in as a Do It Best retailer, then I would see my Do It Best contact that vendor has identified. And the Do It Best vendor number, minimum shipping quantities, FOB, all that information you can list here as well. At the product level page. From the product level page, you can simply click on the logo or click down here, the vendor homepage for Cash Acme. Let's go ahead and click on the logo. And this is going to take you to really what is the heart of Vendor to Member from a vendor's perspective, which is your vendor homepage. This is the really exciting part to me, is this is a proactive sales tool for you to embrace as a vendor and to communicate. So yes, product will be searchable. We are working to make different avenues for retailers to search for your product quick and easy. And they will be doing that, and they are doing that. Hundreds of thousands of page views in the last few weeks alone on our site from retailers. But really for you to be able to embrace this, integrate this into your annual sales plan, really becomes a powerful full circle tool for you to use out in the field. With this vendor homepage, now you can list co-op specific, wholesaler specific information. So this is your basic company information. You can load up videos, things like that. Any of your social links, So again, connecting retailers to you throughout the year. You can, if you do social media, very quickly link those there. Scrolling down, you see the co-op specific contact information. Again, I'm logged in as an ACE retailer. Brands, if you have multiple brands, will be listed here. Videos, how-to videos, training videos, promotional videos that you have, you can list here for the retailers to see. And then any additional resources you can also list. Also, you can list, there's a tab that's promotions. So anytime you have a co-op specific special that you're developing, or you're doing a truck mail to a certain co-op and you want to make it available on vendor to member as well, you can continually have offers available and put that there. So if I wanted to list something that's a co-op specific for True Value retailers, I could simply upload that offer, or you wanted to maybe load your bulletin for the upcoming show for a specific co-op. So now they have a place to get that as well, beyond just at the show and on the show floor. Below the information, now is your product catalog. So all the product that you have on vendor to member, we list right here. And this, again, now we have a unique URL that's specifically to you, and you can distribute that via, business cards. We've provided, QR code cards for our vendors at the National Hardware Show, for the ACE market, for the Do It Best market, to promote your catalog and your co-op specific catalog on vendor to member. So it drives the traffic there, and the retailers here, now they can see all of your product, see their co-op specific shipping terms and contact information, any specials that you have specifically for them. And all your products are listed here and categorized. And this search bar here specifically searches for product that you have. So this does not search the entire vendor to member database. This product search bar exclusively searches for your product. So if I type in water heater, I'm not going to get water heater results or water heater parts from another organization or company. The results that populate are all of the products that Cash Acme has available that are related to water heaters. So what are we seeing? We're seeing a booster tank mixing valve. We're seeing water heater supply lines. You quickly click on one of these products and look at the product level page. Retailers can now actually click and add your products to lists and create lists. Now's a good time to point out we don't actually process the purchase order for orders generated on vendor to member. Each co-op and wholesaler has their own proprietary system that works extremely well to build through their organizations with the product. So we support that. We don't actually handle the creation of the PO. So what we do is, at this point, if this retailer is interested in purchasing this product, they have all the information they need on the product. They know they want to order it. They can simply call the ACE Hardware sales contact here, or simply click here and create the message to go directly to that sales representative or the key account manager, national account manager, whomever that you, the vendor, list to be the sales contact for that retailer. Which brings me to searchability. So right now, as we see, I'm an ACE retailer logged in, and I'm searching for ACE vendors. So the default for a retailer is to search for product from vendors who have vendor numbers with ACE Hardware. That is the default search. If I'm not finding what I'm looking for, or if as a ACE retailer, I just want to purchase the product, I don't care if they have an ACE vendor number or not, then I can simply broaden my search to all vendors. So then my results are going to populate from vendors across the board. So it's very good opportunity then to search for vendors outside of your co-op circle of vendors. We'll go back to the vendor tab. So as we see the features and the platform features that we discussed, the flexibility with listing your product, how the retailer finds your product, your catalog of all of your products, and the ability for you to manage that and distribute that proactively is extremely important. The vendor homepage, we also talked about that as well. It's a unique URL that's specifically for you. Here's another example of ShopVac and their vendor homepage. They use the video as well, a little bit different format. They have their social links, a specific sales contact, and they've done a little bit further and added their shipping terms. And again, their featured products and all of their product listings. For more information, I'm going down the vendor tab here on the vendor on vendortomember.com. So all this information is available to you then moving forward. Retailer visibility, as we talked about, we're working with now over 35,000 retailers and searchable to them through our platform, through hardwareretailing.com, and soon to be through nrha.org here in the next few weeks. The next thing that we've done is to capitalize on all the opportunities that we have with retailers to educate them on products. You know, our mission to the retailer and to the vendors is if we can help retailers source product and make more money at the store level through customer satisfaction, through completing the purchase orders that they need to complete, if we can help vendors better communicate their program and offer vendors tools and ways to better communicate and integrate the vendor-to-member program into your annual sales plan, it's really going to benefit you tenfold when you do invest in attending a market, attending a trade show, when you do an e-blast, when you do a truck mail with a wholesaler. You're really able to capitalize on that momentum and on those investments much, much, much more through the leverage of a program through vendor-to-member. We've also launched 2 new resources for retailers. We've launched the Vendor-to-Member Newswire. Vendor-to-Member Newswire is simply an aggregation of all kinds of information from the industry, specifically with hardware retailing, any ads, any new articles that they have, industry news, we run it through here and we feed it through here. We do offer opportunities for our vendors, exclusively vendors working with Vendor-to-Member. If you have a new item, if you have a new press release about your organization, we'll run that through here, and vendors are then notified and have access to this information as well. So it's a great platform, a great way, again, to educate retailers on your program, educate retailers on new items, features and benefits of your products, things like that. Becomes a really neat platform for you to do that as well. We're also launching a new retailer forum, which is going to be a place for vendors and retailers alike. Again, only retailers and vendors who participate in the Vendor-to-Member program will have access, and it's a place for vendors and retailers to discuss needs, to discuss things that they're looking for, merchandising ideas. And this actually launches here in the next few weeks, so that's kind of an exciting time to be a part of that. It's called the V2M Forum. Now I know today we have a group of different folks and vendors participating in the webinar today. We have some rep organizations participating. We have some vendors who are just now learning about the Vendor-to-Member program, and we have a couple of current Vendor-to-Member vendors participating, maybe a new employee, maybe someone want to learn a little bit more about the program attending. So I'm trying to give a good overview of the program, what's available. Rep organizations, if you go up to the vendor tab, there's a rep agencies tab. Short little video explains we do offer completely free accounts for rep agencies. And that way, your vendors, your lines that you represent, can easily identify you as their rep organization and not have to enter all your information every time for their product lines. So it's very advantageous for you to have a presence. It's a free account for rep agencies, and vendors can very easily identify you as their organization and import your information for the retailers to be able to easily contact you. Let's talk a little bit about pricing. We talked, it's regardless if you have 10,000 items or 1 item. It's very simple vendor pricing. It's $900 a year or $75 a month. There's no break to do monthly. It's simply just a flexible option if that works better for you and your annual budget. The majority of vendors do the one-time fee. It's just a little bit easier to manage that one-time line item. And for that price, you couldn't put a one-page postage on a one-page mailer to 3,000 retailers, let alone being searchable to over 35,000 and all the proactive sales tools and that online catalog through the vendor homepage that you have. So here's a little list of features and benefits, again, that details out. This is all available on the vendor tab on vendor2member.com. And to register, you simply click Register Now, and it walks you through the process. Finally, really neat aspect of Vendor2Member Now, and we're really excited about this new launch, is loading your products. So once you're registered, once you're in, and say, Alex, that's all fine and dandy, but I don't have 20 hours to set up all my products and to get them loaded onto Vendor2Member. And we completely understand that. So we just launched a new site scrape technology. And through this site scrape technology, we actually go to your website and pull all of your product data in straight from your website onto vendor2member.com. Actually, I'll go back to the presentation. And show you that there are two options when you're uploading your product. There's a vendor website scrape, which is going to take about 15 minutes of us having a quick conversation on the telephone. We scrape your website, we pull all your product data in to Vendor2Member, make that searchable with co-op specific information, specials, and offers. So it's really been a powerful tool. And then we obviously continue to have that manual upload. So you simply register, download our product upload worksheet, and if you have a handful of items, 5 or 10, or maybe you're not totally impressed with your website, or maybe you're revamping your website, so now's not a good time to do that, the manual product upload, we've streamlined that process to be very simple, step-by-step tutorials along the way, so it's as easy as that can be. But that website scrape is a new technology that we've invested in, and it's been incredible for vendors to participate quickly, easily, and get the products listed on Vendor2Member within a few minutes over the phone with us, and sometimes not even that. So once you register on Vendor2Member, then it'll offer the opportunity to select what your listing option would be. There's a video tutorial, and it walks into this graph a little bit more closely for you to decide.